Have you heard about that AI film festival that AMC Theaters put their foot down on the other day? These two companies, Modern Uprising Studios and Screen Vision Media, put on this Frame Forward Film Festival. And the prize was to have your short film shown in the cinema pre-show at any theater that partners with Screen Vision, except AMC said absolutely not. We're not going to show this film. I've seen a lot of discussion about the film festival and AMC's reaction, but I haven't really heard anything about the AI shorts themselves. I'll admit, I'm an AI hater, so I sought out the winning short not to see where AI currently stands, but just to see how much it sucks. And this sucks. Before we dive into the winning short film, this thing called Thanksgiving Day, I want to talk about the holier-than-thou attitude I encounter around anyone who uses AI to make short films and music and stuff. I feel like they're always baffled that with the invention of AI, people would continue to make traditional art. On the Frame Forward YouTube channel, they have this video that really exemplifies this attitude. It's called Animator's Christmas Carol. It's supposed to be this like claymation, stop motion, stylized little thing, but this also really sucks. The whole thing is directed kind of at animators, not created by animators. And it's just a minute and a half of people going, oh God, I wasted my life. I went to school for 5 years to be an animator when I should have just made AI prompts. I shouldn't have broken my wrist being so dedicated to a craft that I spent years of my life honing. I could have just used an LLM to do it for me. It's a real statement piece proclaiming that traditional animation is dead, long live LLMs. But it's kind of ironic because this is shit. It's supposed to be this stop motion style, but it can't adhere to that in really any sense. It doesn't feel like stop motion. It's at like 30 frames per second and very smooth. And the faces, they flit back and forth between kind of stylistic and weirdly photorealistic. It cements them firmly at the basin of the uncanny valley. This guy asks why AI is able to do lighting so much better than he can, but like, can it? He's holding a light emitting device. It looks like a metronome, but actually, what is this? It's not a metronome. It's this melted blob of stuff, and it's emitting light, but it's clearly not illuminating the rest of the scene. There's no light fall off on his face, and it's got this like kind of fog glow that I can't tell if it's supposed to be stylistic, but it looks like it's illuminating the background, which makes no sense. And there are all kinds of animation errors. Like halfway through this guy's lines, he forgets that he's singing and does this. And the lyrics don't really flow or make sense. Someone unplug that thing. So if that's their promotional material for the film festival, I really have to wonder what the winner at Thanksgiving Day is going to be like. Joel Rudman, I think he's the head of MUS and has the name straight out of an episode of Portlandia, said of the short, Thanksgiving Day is a masterclass in original storytelling, a wildly inventive journey that balances sharp satire with unexpected emotional payoff, proving that bold imagination with the tools of AI complements the future of animated filmmaking. Wow. Okay. Wildly inventive, satirical, and with an emotional payoff? I'm gonna hold you to that, Joel Rude Boy. Thanksgiving Day follows a bear and a platypus on an old junker of a spaceship. The platypus flushes trash out of an airlock, a cop shows up, and the bear forks over money to get him to leave. Look at the way he's handling that money, though. He's not doing anything. He's just ruffling this melted pile of garbage. And oh, is this one of the emotional elements? They've run out of fuel. That's kind of scary, right? What are they going to do? I guess they're going to just refuel their spaceship, okay. A different cop shows up and they fork over more money. Then another cop shows up and I think he's supposed to be stealing their food, but it kind of looks like he's just taking out the trash. Like the soda can is open, these soda cans are crushed. He's just got a loose muffin on top of a shopping cart. It kind of looks like he's being friendly, helping them clean up their spaceship, but nope, I guess he was stealing their food, and now they don't have any money or food. But luckily for them, a turkey stops by on a pizza and burger cart, and the bear and platypus just fucking kill him? Is this the satire? Is this the huge emotional payoff? Like, this film really has no plot whatsoever. It's completely nonsensical. Plus, of course, it just looks bad. There's always an issue with continuity in AI films, because you have to remember AI isn't generating worlds, it's a probability model. So you'll see stuff shift constantly, and honestly, I think this is fine some of the time. God knows in my own work there have been continuity errors, and sometimes I add them deliberately. In Thanksgiving Day, I could nitpick 1,000 of them. This button becomes that button, and the handle next to it goes from the center of the door to the furthest side. And, I'm on the fence. I don't usually care about background continuity errors. What I really want to focus on is the abject horror of the main characters. They're constantly shifting and swimming, and they just don't work. This bear has his coffee mug clipped through his lip. Here the platypus has 3 fingers, here he has 4. Here the bear has 5 fingers, here he has 6. And here he has terrifying man hands. Here are even more terrifying man hands. I think when it comes to animation, and I'm no professional, I'm just a weird schmuck writing in a basement, but I think it's important to maintain continuity, especially with your main characters. Like, the background is kind of a tertiary element. You want it to be good, but it's not the central focus of the scene. But if you can't even maintain continuity with your characters, it's not going to work. The characters don't emote to any degree in the short either. Not even in a deadpan, kind of like acknowledgement, not acknowledgement kind of way. And frankly, I think that's probably for the best. I could only imagine how bad it would be if they moved their lips to any degree. And watching stuff like this, I just have to wonder, what's the point? Why do people make this? Have they deluded themselves into thinking that this can meaningfully compete on the artistic stage? There are so many arguments about why AI art is bad, and I think that they are all true to some degree. I try not to rely on the AI art has no soul elements too much, but frankly, I keep coming back to it. What's the point? It makes me think that this is not about making an artistic statement, it's about generating revenue. It falls into the same trap that NFTs did. NFTs never had any artistic merit. It was all just about generating value. And the reason why AI artists are so indignant is they don't realize that the process is the point. I do a lot of embroidery in my free time, and people often ask me if I would ever consider selling some of my embroidery, and the response is just absolutely not. I mean, there is no way to make hand embroidery economically viable, and that's really kind of the reason that I do it. I think it's fun to spend days upon days ruining my fingers, eking out stitch upon stitch, just to have something cool. I could get a machine to do it for me, but then, I just wouldn't feel as fulfilled. And I have to wonder, watching this, what do the AI prompters get out of this? This was directed, and I use that very loosely, by somebody named Igor Alfaroy. And what does he get out of this? Does he feel any sort of passion or reward from creating this? I think if I generated this myself, I would feel so empty. He has no claim to any of this. He typed in 6 sentences into a chat prompt, and then that was it. What did Igor actually do? He did nothing. And this film is nothing. But anyway, that's my rant. Thanks for listening to me kind of talk for too long, and I'll see you later.